What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. I'm Brent. Welcome to the Ogden Nature Center. I'm an environmental educator here, and welcome to Wild Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about something it can be really big. In fact, the largest living thing in the whole wide world is this. This thing can also create zombies. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about fungus. We're going to talk all about fungus today for Wild Wednesday. So we have a couple of awesome logs that we're going to take a look at, and we're really lucky because we've had a lot of rain this week, and fungus love moisture. So let's come on over here and take a look at this log here. Lots of fun stuff to look at, and if you look down towards the bottom part of this log, you'll see what's poking out here. These are actually part of a bracket fungus. So all through this log, if we had an X-ray, it would help us to see inside, is something called hyphae, and they're little threads that weave and interlock and make this big fungal body called mycelium. And the mycelium is eating this log, which is kind of weird, right? Fungus is not an animal, but it needs to eat. It eats dead things. Fungus are also not plants. They don't have chlorophyll to make their own food, so they've got to eat something that's dead usually. So there's a mycelium fungal body running through this whole log, and there's a couple different logs that we'll take a look at as we go. But while we're here, we can also take a look at a super organism called lichen. You'll see this all over trees and rocks, this kind of orangey color here. But there's thousands of different species of lichen, and this is when two organisms come together. In this case, you've got fungus, and you've got either algae or a cyanobacteria. Now, what's really important is that one of those organisms can photosynthesize. And if you know what that means, if you've studied a little bit about plants before, photosynthesis is when plants can take sunlight and water and carbon dioxide, make some food, right? So one of those organisms is giving food to the fungus. And in return, the fungus is bringing moisture to the algae or the cyanobacteria. So the lichen comes together and can live on different surfaces, whatever is fit for that organism. Cool. So let's move on this way. You'll see another great log. It's got some more bracket fungus on it. And I'm actually going to flip this log for you to take a look at what might be underneath here. Lots of fun stuff, more than just fungus as well, but you can really see the upside down part of the fungus. I've got a magnifying glass here I want to bust out and show you guys. So maybe you can have a better look. Not sure if you can see this through the phone or not. You see my reflection pretty well, can't you? But if you look really closely, you see all those little holes. So fungus can shoot out something called spores. Fungus doesn't have seeds, but these spores kind of act like seeds in a way. And they'll come out through wind, or maybe an animal will come up and brush against the fungus and spread these spores so that the fungus can carry on its way and create a new fungal body somewhere else. So again, this log is being eaten away by fungus. You can see it's all over the place. It's really cool. You can even see some of that white coloring. That's the mycelium coming out as well. How cool is that? One more log we can take a look at here. See, it's all over the place. And like I mentioned before, we have had some rain recently, and fungus needs moisture to survive. So they're doing really well right now with all the moisture that we've got. So a couple other things I want to talk about are maybe some of the parasites that you've heard of in the fungal world. As I mentioned when we started the video, the largest living thing on the planet is a fungus. If you went walking in the Blue Mountains in Oregon, you would see a honey fungus, which is actually a parasite. It's eating the live trees that are in the forest and killing it, unfortunately. But it has to live, right? And zombies. Yeah. So there's a fungus out there called the zombie ant fungus, and it takes over zombies. Or it takes over ants. So what it does, a little unsuspecting ant will be walking around, maybe near its colony, looking for food, and a spore will land on that ant, and it starts to take over the mechanisms of the ant. The ant starts to crawl up a plant or a branch, and it'll pinch onto this stem of a leaf, and the fungus will kill it. Another little mushroom will pop out of that ant's head, and then the spore will spread into the colony and take over. Yeah, which is pretty wild. So fungus is crazy in that way. But fungus is also beneficial in some ways as well. So you've probably had mushrooms on your pizza before, so there are some that we can eat. But before you go out in the forest and start picking mushrooms, you need to be 150% sure that what you're picking is edible. Now, there's a couple different ones that you'd find around here, but one I want to talk about is turkey tail. And well, it looks like turkey tail, right? It's got the coloration all over it, the reds and the browns and even some yellows. It's really pretty, and it is a kind of bracket fungus like the one that we've seen here. But again, before you go picking it, you need to know what you're looking at. But truth be told, in Asia, they actually use turkey tail to help treat cancer. So mushrooms have some really fascinating medicinal properties to them, but make sure you go studying before you go out foraging. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us on Wild Wednesday, guys, and get out there right after a rain especially and go find some fungus. Okay, see you next time.